In the whirlwind of modern life, we are often driven by external forces, deadlines, social expectations, and the constant stream of digital information. We move, we act, but we rarely pause. This relentless forward momentum, however, can leave us feeling adrift, disconnected from our true selves and our deepest aspirations. The art of becoming, the lifelong pursuit of our best selves, is not found in the speed of our actions, but in the quiet moments of introspection. As the philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti once said, the ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. It is in the deliberate practice of self-reflection that we find the clarity, courage, and direction to navigate our personal growth journey. Self-reflection is the process of critically examining our thoughts, emotions, actions, and motivations. It is the unseen mirror that allows us to see ourselves clearly. To understand our lecture serves as a fundamental catalyst for personal growth, providing a roadmap for developing self-awareness, cultivating intentionality, and ultimately, living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Let's talk about the foundation of self-awareness, knowing thyself. The ancient maxim, know thyself, is the cornerstone of all personal growth, and self-reflection is the primary tool for achieving it. Without a deep understanding of who we are, our attempts to change are often unfocused and short-lived. Self-awareness involves recognizing our strengths and weaknesses, understanding our core values, and identifying our emotional triggers. This isn't a passive observation. It's an active and sometimes uncomfortable process of inquiry. For instance, by reflecting on a difficult conversation, we can move beyond simply reacting with anger. We might ask ourselves, what was the underlying fear that prompted my defensive response? What values were being challenged? Was my reaction truly proportional to the situation, or was it a pattern from a past experience? This level of introspection uncovers the subconscious scripts that dictate our behavior. It reveals not just what we do, but why we do it. This knowledge is power. As the Greek philosopher Plato posited, the unexamined life is not worth living. Self-reflection allows us to move beyond an unexamined existence. It helps us differentiate between our authentic desires and the desires we've internalized from others. By understanding our values, we can make choices that align with what truly matters to us, leading to a sense of integrity and inner peace. Self-reflection is not a mystical gift. It is a skill that can be developed through consistent practice. There are several powerful techniques that can be integrated into daily life to foster deeper self-awareness. We will go through it one by one. First is journaling. Writing is a potent form of reflection. It externalizes our internal world, allowing us to examine our thoughts and feelings from a new perspective. A reflective journaling practice isn't just a diary of events. It's an exploration of their meaning. Questions like, what was the most challenging part of my day and why? Or, what brought me joy today and how can I create more of that? Can turn a simple record into a profound learning tool. Over time, reviewing past entries can reveal recurring patterns, triggers, and growth trajectories that were invisible in the moment. Second is mindfulness and meditation. These practices train our minds to observe thoughts and emotions without judgment. By simply sitting in silence and paying attention to our breath, we create space between ourselves and the incessant chatter of our minds. This space is where true reflection can happen. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our present state, our physical sensations, emotional landscape, and mental habits, without getting carried away by them. It builds a capacity to pause before we react, a critical skill for making intentional choices. The Stoic philosopher Seneca advocated for this kind of daily reflection, stating, "We should hunt out the good to get in our possession, and to hold it fast, that we may be happy at the end of the day." Third is seeking and accepting feedback. While self-reflection is an internal process, it is significantly enhanced by external input. Constructive feedback from trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues provides perspective we cannot access on our own. It can highlight our blind spots, those areas of our personality or behavior that are obvious to others but hidden from ourselves. The act of listening to this feedback, without defensiveness, is a powerful form of reflection that requires humility and a genuine commitment to growth. The insights gained through self-reflection are only valuable if they lead to action. This is the crucial bridge from passive awareness to active becoming. Personal growth is not just about understanding. It's about applying that understanding to make deliberate changes. Self-reflection helps us identify the gap between who I am now and who I want to be. This gap is where we find our goals and our purpose. For example, a person might reflect on their career and realize that despite being successful, they feel unfulfilled. The reflection might reveal that their core values lie in creativity and human connection, while their job is primarily administrative and solitary. This insight is the spark. The action is the fire. It might lead them to take a new class, volunteer, or start a side project. All small steps that begin to align their external life with their internal truth. As the author and self-help guru James Allen wrote, sow a thought and you reap an act. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap a destiny. Self-reflection transforms generic goals like, I want to be happier, into specific, actionable steps like, I will spend 15 minutes each day practicing a creative hobby to feel more fulfilled. This process creates a virtuous cycle. Reflection leads to intentional action, which in turn provides new experiences to reflect upon, deepening our understanding and guiding our next steps. Overcoming barriers to self-reflection. Despite its clear benefits, many people resist self-reflection. This resistance often stems from a fear of what they might find. Confronting our weaknesses, past mistakes, or unfulfilled potential can be uncomfortable. It requires a level of emotional vulnerability that many of us are not trained to handle. Other barriers include the constant demands on our time and attention. In a world of notifications and instant gratification, carving out time for quiet thought feels unproductive and challenging. To overcome these barriers, it's essential to approach self-reflection with kindness and a growth mindset. Instead of viewing it as a fault-finding mission, see it as a compassionate inquiry. As psychologist Carl Jung famously said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. This process of awakening is the core of overcoming resistance. Start small. Even 5 minutes of quiet thought in the morning can be a powerful beginning. The goal isn't to achieve perfection, but to cultivate a non-judgmental awareness of our inner landscape, acknowledging that we all have flaws and that personal growth is a messy, non-linear process, makes reflection a more accessible and less intimidating practice. The best version of ourselves, a continuous process. The journey of becoming is not a destination, but a continuous process. There is no final, finished version of ourselves waiting to be unlocked. Rather, we are constantly evolving, and the best version is the one that is currently aligned with our truest self. This understanding frees us from the pressure of perfection and allows us to embrace the ongoing journey of growth. Self-reflection becomes a compass that helps us navigate this evolution. It allows us to adjust our course, to learn from our mistakes, and to celebrate our progress. By consistently engaging in this practice, we develop resilience. We learn that we are not our emotions or our thoughts, but the conscious observer of them. This allows us to handle setbacks with grace, to learn from failure rather than being defeated by it, and to maintain our equilibrium amidst life's inevitable challenges. As the author William Butler Yeats eloquently put it, there is no great literature without a great soul, and no great soul without a great life. The person we are today is a product of our past. The person we will become tomorrow is a product of our reflection today. The art of becoming is the ultimate life's work, and self-reflection is its master key. In a world that often values external achievements over internal development, the practice of turning inward is a revolutionary act. It is the act of choosing to lead a life of intention rather than one of reaction. Through consistent introspection, we build the self-awareness to understand our true nature, the courage to confront our limitations, and the wisdom to align our actions with our deepest values. This journey is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. By committing to the practice of self-reflection, we don't just observe our lives. We actively create them one thoughtful step at a time. This is how we live the best of our lives, by continuously and compassionately striving to become the person we were always meant to be.